The crystal chandeliers sparkled above, scattering light like shards of frozen sunlight. Laughter and clinking glasses echoed across the grand ballroom. Everyone appeared flawless, immaculate suits, glimmering dresses, smiles that looked bought rather than earned. Everyone, that is, except me. I lingered near a dim corner, my hand gripping the cane that had long been my companion. My gaze stayed fixed on my daughter, Emily, who twirled in her wedding gown, her laughter light, her smile bright enough to rival the chandeliers. She was the living image of her mother, gentle eyes, radiant warmth, a soul too pure for the harshness of this world. I should have felt overwhelming pride, uncontainable joy, but instead, a cold knot of fury tightened in my chest. Because the man she was marrying, Ryan, had just sneered something so cruel that it pierced me like a dagger. More than her dad? He's just a poor old man. Pathetic. Probably begged to be here. Bet he didn't even get her a gift. He whispered it to a friend and they laughed. My fingers twitched around the cane, not from weakness but from rage. I had never been wealthy. After my wife passed, life became a quiet struggle. I worked night shifts at a factory, sold our home, and gave every penny I earned to Emily's education, her future, her happiness. My business had collapsed when I spent everything on her mother's treatment. I sacrificed everything for her. And now here was Ryan, smooth, confident, polished, wealthy. Designer clothes, luxury cars, rehearsed charm. Something about him always felt wrong. He measured people by their money, not their hearts. I had stayed silent because Emily loved him, and a father's love sometimes means biting your tongue, swallowing your anger. The wedding was ostentatious, far beyond anything I could have afforded. Every detail was dictated by his family, every gesture a reminder of my supposed inadequacy. They even forgot to put my name on the invitation. I told myself it was an oversight. But when Ryan's mother looked at me, that look, sharp, dismissive, a silent accusation, cut deep. "Make sure your father-in-law doesn't make a scene," she whispered to Ryan. He smirked, repeating the cruel words. "Don't worry, Mom. He's poor and useless. He'll stay quiet." For a moment I wanted to leave, to vanish into the night. But then I saw Emily, nervous, glowing, trusting me, and I stayed. Not for pride but for the right moment. What they didn't know was that I was far from powerless. My business had failed, yes, but the small technology one had developed years ago had quietly been acquired by a major company. The payout had been substantial, enough to change everything. I had lived modestly, invested discreetly, and waited for this night. This was my chance, not for vengeance but for truth. When the toast began, the microphone came to me. Ryan's friends snickered, his mother's eyes rolled. Emily smiled nervously. I rose, my cane tapping on the floor, and spoke clearly, calmly. "Good evening. I am Emily's father, David. Some of you may think I have little to my name. Perhaps you are right. I don't drive luxury cars, wear designer suits, or appear on the Forbes list. But I do have a daughter, one who possesses more grace, more heart, more integrity than any fortune could buy. And to me that is wealth beyond measure." The room quieted. Ryan shifted, unease creeping across his face. Emily's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. "I would like to offer my daughter and her husband a wedding gift," I continued. From the back of the hall, a lawyer approached, holding a thick envelope. Murmurs rose. Ryan's smirk faltered. I opened it slowly. "This is the deed to a fully paid home. And this," I said, holding another document, "is a company valued at over $2 million, now in my daughter's name. A business I built years ago. The same one her husband attempted to impress investors with, unaware that I was the original creator and silent investor." A stunned silence fell. Forks hovered midair. Ryan's mother gasped. Emily covered her mouth, unable to speak. I turned my gaze on Ryan. "When you dismissed me as poor and useless, you didn't know you were insulting the person who quietly rejected your proposal last year because arrogance is not tolerated in my business. I have only one request: treat my daughter with respect. She doesn't need your wealth, never has." Emily's tears spilled freely, but this time they were tears of pride, of understanding. Ryan stammered, but the room already saw through his mask. The next day, Emily came to my modest apartment, wedding ring absent. She embraced me tightly. "Dad, I'm sorry. I should have listened. Thank you for showing me who he really was, without ever raising your voice." I smiled, handing her the envelope again. "Now build your own path with your own strength." That night, I gazed at the stars, whispering to my late wife, "She's free now, Mary. Just like we always wanted." Because sometimes victory isn't loud. It isn't revenge. It is the quiet power of truth, spoken at the perfect moment. The man who seems weak or insignificant may hold far more strength than arrogance could ever buy.